Love it though. All right, let me take a guess. Okay, so all I know about you is your name is Jamie.
Yes.
And that you're at one of the best hospitals I know of course, Cardinal Glennon.
Yes, definitely.
I want to hear about you. How old are you? 16?
15.
I was so close. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. Now, well, I can't make it bigger, so I'll just have to figure it out. So, how long have you been there? What are you in for?
So, I was diagnosed on Memorial Day of last year.
Wow.
So 2019.
Wow.
So May 27th, I woke up and I was feeling really bad. I didn't know what was going on. I knew something was wrong with my body, but I needed to figure it out by a professional. And I basically...
Did you feel like something's not right?
Yes. Like I had like a pit feeling in my stomach, and it just didn't go away. I didn't get sleep at all, and I was like very tired all the time, and I didn't know why. And my appetite was way lower than it was. And like I like to, and I eat like quite a bit, but like it was like restricting me from what I wanted to eat it, and like I would eat a little bit and I feel full like all of a sudden. So I told my parents, I said, we need to go to the doctor. I do not feel right. And they were like, okay. So we went to my local ambulatory clinic, and because it was Memorial Day, all they had was open was x-rays. So they did an x-ray on my stomach, and they had found that my spleen and liver were extremely enlarged and that I needed to go to the ER immediately. And the ER... Yeah, it was a very scary thought to get told you need to go to the ER like immediately. Right. So we drove to the ER, which it was just right down the road, and we went in. They did CT scans, took blood, and they did everything that they could, and they got results pretty quickly. And the doctor had basically told us, we are going to send you down to Cardinal Glennon because we suspect that your daughter has leukemia. Like right there and then.
Yeah. Had you heard of that word before? Leukemia, that word, right?
Yeah. Because like the first thing you think of leukemia is like, oh my goodness, like you don't know what kind, and like because like all you hear is leukemia. You don't hear like ALL and all this and like AML and like CML and like all of these different kinds of leukemias. Like you just hear leukemia and that's it. It's like, oh my gosh, cancer. So 2-hour drive in an ambulance, and we get to Cardinal Glennon, and they take me straight into the ER, got me a room immediately, and the person on call was Dr. Hughie, and they called him to say,
Hughie. GB?
No, Hughie.
Dr. Hughie.
Yes.
Got it.
And who's my primary doctor for everything. And they said, hey, we got a patient down here who is in really critical condition. You need to come see her now. And he was at home, and he actually came in to, like, come see me. And
it's Cardinal Glennon. I'm not surprised about that. I mean, that's...
They're a pretty amazing team. Yeah. But when so they sent me up to pick you immediately because they knew that this was a leukemia. Like they knew there was some form of leukemia. Well, my doctor already had said before they did a bone marrow biopsy in my hip, in my back hip, he said, I can suspect this is CML before we even do this, but to confirm it completely, we're going to do a bone marrow biopsy. So they did the bone marrow biopsy, and he was right. I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia.
God bless. God bless.
Yeah, like it's a lot to say, but it's a chronic myeloid leukemia, aka CML, and it was just a lot to take in, like the first 4 days, especially for my parents because
those kids, your age, you were 14 at the time, right?
Yes.
You're going, you shouldn't have to know about this stuff. You should be like learning maybe science, but that kind of stuff, all of a sudden you become an expert, I'm assuming.
It does. It does. It really does change the way like you grow up. Like
Sure.
you have to grow up like in this environment, and it's like a whole new thing. Well, I stayed so I was in the PICU for about 4 days, which, my goodness, it was a lot in those 4 days. We got sent up to Fort Worth, the oncology floor, and in that a week had gone by, and my doctor had came back in, and he said, and my dad was at work at this time, and he said, I really need to talk to all of you. Is there a way that we can get my dad, Mike, down here as soon as possible? And my mom was like, well, yeah, would 1 o'clock work? He said, 1 o'clock would be great. I'll see you soon. So she called my dad, and my dad instantly came by, came. He said, hey, I need to leave work right now. The doctor needs to see me as soon as possible. And they're like, completely understand. He came down a little before 1. We told Dr. Hughie that my dad was there, and he and Dr. Hughie came down, and he sat on the couch, and he said, well, Jamie Lynn, you just made my job a lot harder. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, uh-oh. So, and he said, you, not only are you diagnosed with CML, but you have a inverted 16 chromosome that is associated with AML, acute myeloid leukemia, which is the aggressive version of my leukemia. And I was like, what is an inverted 16 chromosome? He said, well, basically it's a chromosome that is wrapped around itself and it's flipped upside down. But luckily at that time, because they just caught it, it was just staying there. It was just there. It was in my body, and but he really didn't know what treatment to do for it. He said, I have one pill that can turn off one of those leukemias, and it was a CML. But I don't have anything else for the AML. The AML is kind of on its own right now. And he said, we can try doing 4 monthly chemo shots in your back, like spinal taps. And we'll see how that goes.
That's very painful.
Well, luckily you get put out for it. So
that's good thing.
Yeah. But we did the 4 chemo shots, and it put it in remission. So for about a good 8 months, I was only fighting CML, and I was only taking my chemo pill and then some other pills either.
Were you in the hospital this whole time? No. 8 months that you were in remission?
No. I was able to go home and stuff like that. I was only in the hospital for about 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
When I was first newly diagnosed, and then I've been going to Costas for my visits and stuff like that, every other week. Excuse me.
So how is it now? How are you now? Are you seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, or what's your progress like?
Well, in January, my doctor had called because we do bone marrow biopsies, and bone marrow biopsies to determine how the cells are, if something's in remission or something took over. Well, in January, my AML had blasted, and it took over the CML. So we had to do a complete conversion, and I had to do chemo rounds. So I did the first chemo round, and the chemo round actually almost bottomed me out. And I had to go down to PICU again, and I was only down to PICU for 3 days, which they were really surprised about because of what happened. And I came back up, and I basically did everything with antibiotics and medicine and stuff. I actually got to leave on time, in my range that they wanted me to leave. It was 3-4 weeks, and I left on the day that it was the 4th week. And they did another bone marrow biopsy, and the bone marrow biopsy showed that I was in complete remission. But they wanted to do another round of chemo to keep that in deep remission. So we did the second round. The second round was completely boring, which is good in a hospital. And then they did another bone marrow biopsy, and they showed that I was in deep remission. They said, this is when we do bone marrow transplant now. So for about almost 11 weeks now, I've been at Cardiff Linen, recovering from a heart transplant.
That's great.
Hmm.
And by the way, anybody who's watching, sign up to be a bone marrow donor. It's not that difficult, right?
It really isn't.
Mm-mm.
And you're also saving somebody else's life.
Thank you, sister. Okay, let's talk about girl talk a little bit here.
All right.
I was told, and then I saw this TikTok challenge. Now, when I told my co-host Billy that I was going to see about this TikTok challenge, he said, "You're too old for TikTok, Judy."
Oh,
So,
no one's too old for TikTok.
thank you. Say that again, really loud.
Nobody's too old to do TikTok. Like, come
Okay.
on, guys. I see like 60-year-olds and 80-year-olds on TikTok. Like, anybody can do it.
And I'm not even near that age, Jamie.
It's like I see like older people doing it. I see like parents doing it, like to make fun of their kids. Like,
I feel much better now because I plan on learning this TikTok challenge dance that you did, which you did so good. You challenged the nurses, right?
I did.
So you look really good when you're doing it, by the way. I mean, I don't know if I can do the moves you do.
They're not
I
that
was
hard.
going to have you show me, but it looks like you just had some treatment done.
Actually, I haven't done chemo since about the first week. So, how transplant works is that they do, for me, I had to do 7 negative days. And those 7 negative days don't count with the transplant. Those negative days are the day that we do pre-transplant stuff, so like the chemo and the treatments and stuff like that. But after that, day 0 is transplant day, and then after that is, and honestly, your recovery. So you don't get any so you don't get any more chemo and stuff like that. You get that's when you get like your transfusions, like your blood and platelets and stuff like that, and anything that can help your immune system grow. Because right now, I'm a newborn baby pretty much, and and I said to everybody, I was like, because my transplant day was May 18th. And I said, so next year, May 18th, when I said it's my birthday, it really is my birthday. It's my 1-year transplant birthday.
And you'll be driving.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
You were a 2-hour drive. So I want to just also mention the reason I'm such a huge proponent of Cardinal Glennon is that no matter what, they don't turn anybody away if a child needs help, right?
Yeah.
So where are you coming from? 2 hours is far.
So from St. Louis up north, there's a little town that's called Perry, Missouri. And a lot of people like to get it confused with Perryville, but Perryville's south. So up north, there's a town that's called Perry, Missouri, and it's by Mark Twain Lake area. If you ever heard of Hannibal, Missouri, and like Mark Twain.
I lived in Boston for a while. I lived in Peru, LaSalle, so that's like on the way. I think I passed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like this very small town, and it's like there's less than 70 people in it, like 700 people in it. So like it's very small, very quiet, peaceful, all that, and it's a very nice town to live in. So when we go down and because we've been coming down to the Cardinal Glennon for so long now, over a year, the visit, like the way down here, it only feels like an hour, even though it's 2 hours.
So are you a Cardinals fan?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They won. I think they're playing today too, aren't they? Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad that the season they're having this season this year, even if it's just going to be like a short season. I'm just glad they're having one. I know a lot of people like baseball boys.
What do you think? Like, I know you can't say your favorites, but do you have a favorite nurse? I won't tell.
If I had to choose anybody, because I go off of my day ones. So like Dr. Hughie, he's my day one nurse. And the nurse, my very first nurse that I had, her name is Sarah. And she has been there for me like ever since this whole process. And even when like the bone marrow transplant, like everything, she's brought me snacks that I can eat, drinks that I can drink. If I had to pick anybody, that would be my like favorite nurse. It's like she's always done everything just to make sure that I'm doing okay and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's how is it? If you were to tell somebody, a friend your age, a friend back in the day, what's going to be your takeaway? Your number one, because you're going to get all healthy. You're going to say bye. Hope to never see you again, except in to celebrate.
Yeah.
What would be your takeaway? Like, what would be the one thing you'd say to your friends?
I would say, and I say this quite a bit because, I mean, like, dealing with cancer, it's a very tough situation. But a lot of the time, but even though that I do have cancer, or like, even though that I did have cancer, it wasn't as bad as everybody thinks it is. And I can say that for myself as a person that has cancer. Because of all the amazing people that I've gotten to meet, all the amazing nurses and doctors I've built relationships with, the opportunities I've gotten to do because of this hospital, it's all been a positive thing for me. It's like, yeah, there's been some hiccups and stuff like that, and yeah, I've gotten upset, but I can never say anything bad about this hospital or my experience with cancer. It's like, it's all been positive, no matter what.
You're learning at a very young age what took me a long time to learn, and that is enjoy the moments. Because every day is a moment, and then the moment's gone. Oh, it's gone. Oh, like I'm enjoying this so much, and you're gonna be all like, you're on TV, you're on radio, you're all done. All your friends are going like, big star, you're a TikTok star. And again, it is Cardinal Glennon, great hospital, but they especially now, they need our help. I mean, I don't know how. You would be the better person than me to say to somebody, listen, if you got any extra money to give.
Yes, definitely. Like, this hospital, it's a special place. It's not any other hospital. You come here and you're greeted with the most like nicest people in the world. Everybody's so kind. They're always asking like, are you guys okay? Do you need anything? Like, there's somebody always there to make sure that you're okay. And every doctor, they care for the kids. It's not like how some doctors are. They're more business than anything. No, every doctor here that's on the oncology and all that, oh my goodness, like, they come in, they're asking you what you did this weekend, or like, how you feeling, or like, is there anything like that cool that you guys have been doing? Like, they're always more into your life and wanting to know how you are and not your cancer life.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, I have a sister who is going through chemo now. I don't know. She's doing great. She's like you. She has an amazing attitude. But the one thing she said was, she said, I hate when people are afraid to talk to me. Ask me. Talk to me. Don't be afraid to talk to me. Mm-hmm. Is that something you go through, especially being young?
I actually told him, like, when I was diagnosed, I said, I am a person that wants to know stuff. I want to know what's going on. So if you like have anything to say, and if anything is going on, let me know. So I know.
I'm a friend or somebody who's like, oh gosh, what do I say? Like, I'll say to my sister, how's the cancer doing? How you doing? You know, I mean, people are afraid. What would you say? I mean, you know what I'm saying, right?
But people are kind of quite scared to ask, like, is anything going on, or like, how are you feeling? So, and I always ask them, I said, if you have any questions, I am glad to definitely please ask me questions, because I like to tell people, like, yeah, this is how it is. It's kind of this way, because I have so many people that ask me, like, how can you deal with their hospital life? How do you deal with your cancer life? And I'm like, well, I deal with it like if I'm a normal person. Like, it's not something that affects me. Like I say all the time, I say, yeah, I have cancer, but it's not affecting me. It's like, cancer doesn't have me. It's not the thing that's putting me down.
I love that you said that. I love that. You're owning it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I told my sister, I said, you know, she's rocking the bald, and I said, that's so in right now.
It really is. I mean,
yeah.
And it was funny because it was my first chemo round, and I still had my hair. I used to have dark brown hair, and I mean, it was just straight, and it was but I told Mom, I said, Mom, if I lose my hair, it's not going to be a big deal. Honestly, because I have never thought of my hair as a attachment to me.
It's not.
I've never thought of it.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not me. It's and I actually told my mom, because my hair was coming out, and I was like, Mom, tomorrow's the day. She's like, tomorrow's the day. Why? Like, what? And I said, I'm getting my head shaved. And she was like, "Are you sure about that?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm completely sure. I'm fine with it. I just want it gone. Like I just feel like it's something that I don't need right now." She was like, "Do you want me to do it with you?" And I said, "Mom, keep your hair." I was like, "Keep your hair." I was like,
I go, "Do you want me to shave your head?" She goes, "No, one of us should have hair. You're good."
Yeah, that's what I basically told Mom. I was like, one of us should have something to look at. So like, and it was funny because like as soon as it was done, I had the hair in my like on my lap, and my child life therapist came in and she was like, "Okay, do you want me to like put this in a little bag?" I threw it in the trash. I threw my hair in the trash. I was like,
you have the best attitude. I swear you have the best attitude of anybody I know your age, for sure, of even more most adults. So, I mean, it's awesome. I'm sitting there going, oh gosh, 14. And I always talk to people, whatever the age, I don't talk down, or it's just we're one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're like way more mature than I am. Has this affected what you think you'll be when you grow up?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like for the longest time when I was like, especially job wise, for the longest time I wanted to be like a marine biologist or something to do with like sea animals and like all that. And I actually talked to somebody and they're like, to be a marine biologist, you have to love your job. It's like, it is not what you think it is. So if you want to do something like that, you have to love your job. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I don't really want to do that now. I was like, it's not something that I like. And this whole bone marrow process, it's definitely changed my outlook on like stuff because like, and even my whole cancer like journey, because I've learned so much stuff about it. I've actually came to the conclusion that when I get out of college, graduate from college, I want to move down here to St. Louis, and I actually want to work at Cardinal Glennon as an oncology nurse. And my perspective was it is I want to be able to walk into a room from a newly diagnosed kid or a kid that is struggling with their journey and be like, hey, I just want to let you know that it's going to be okay. I was once you just a few years ago. And look at me now. I am here working at the hospital that saved my life.
Wow.
And that's basically what I want to tell that kid. It's like, hey, everything will be okay. You just got to push through it.
I'm about to cry. Tears. This is wow. You're amazing. It's amazing what life's journey can do, and maybe this whole thing that you're going through is because 10 years from now you're going to be starting to save lives, lots of lives, which is cool. And even if you just don't do any of that, it doesn't matter. You're doing it right now just by affecting people that are listening to this and watching it. So you have no idea how much it meant. I'm very honored, by the way, that you took the time, because I know it's, you know, although with all these people that are at home, don't you just kind of go, oh, come on, get over it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like, but like as like going through my journey, it's kind of one of those things. It's kind of like an eye opener. It's like, wow, there's like a lot that not only goes into being a nurse, but an oncology nurse. It's like there's a lot that goes on in that world, and it's like, and it's crazy because being a part of it, it's like you actually get it. So it's like one of those things, like you can walk in and be like, yeah, you might think I might not know what you're going through, but I plain out do. And it's like, and just for a kid to have a nurse that is like that went through the same thing that you did, it's like I can feel like that would help so many kids. It's like be able to like, especially with emotions, because that's one thing that kids struggle with the most when it comes to this situation is emotions, and they bottle them up and they don't know how to release them. So I feel like if they had someone there and it's like they can ask them like, hey, what's wrong? And it's like, well, I'm feeling this way because like everything's changing and I just feel like things are getting better. It's like, hey, I went through it too. I know exactly what you feel like. It's like at one point I was feeling like this, and then
your parents, and you don't necessarily want to show them because they're scared. You can imagine. So the fact that you get that is amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the sun run, because it's a virtual sun run. Now, Billy and my co-star and I, we emceed it last year. It was amazing. This year, however, it's virtual, and it's on October, I don't have the date in front of me, but I will.
October 25th.
Thank you. October 25th. And, we have the links and all up. to sign. But is that part of the TikTok challenge dance, by the way?
It is. It is. It's actually the thing that is put out to tell everybody to go sign up for the Sun Run. So it's a pretty exciting thing. Yeah, Laura Wolf, the part of the federation, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, so how do you feel about making a TikTok for our local Sun Run?" And I was like, "Oh, that would be great. Like, I can definitely do this." And I was like, "Okay, but is it okay if I use a nurse that is really good at TikToks and can do this with me?" And she was like, "Yeah, of course, add anybody." So me and my nurse, Kirsten, actually made the TikTok, and everybody loved it.
Is she here? Well, I'll have to just watch you guys and figure out the dance. Because did she make it up or you make it up?
I made it up.
It's really good.
So I can teach you the dance if you want to.
Yes. Yes.
My doctor came in.
Oh, the doctor could come in. Tell me from KLOU. Best station in St. Louis.
But yeah, this is yeah. Oh, good. So yeah, the TikTok was made, and it's actually really easy. It's so like the song is called "Walk It Out," of course, but pretty much all the moves are based on walking movement.
Walk it out one or whatever.
Yeah, like walk it out, yeah, that one. And if you want me to, I can actually teach you the dance if you want to. So, all right.
I was hoping you would. Okay, hold on. Okay. There we go. I'm going to step back so I can videotape. And I'm going to try to do this. And if I'm looking nervous.
And luckily, I'm in my old.
Well, are they jammies?
Oh, yes, they are.
For sure that wherever you are, be all there just for you. Okay, Miss.
So, the first steps of the move, the first steps to this dance is you start out saying, "Do it how you do it." So you do this and this.
Do I move my hips or just my hands?
Just your hands.
Okay.
And if you want to move your hips, you can.
Okay.
I made the dance easy enough that everybody could do it, but if they wanted to add more flair to it, they can. So like if you want to move it how you do it, and then step back with your left foot.
My other leg.
So step back with your left foot, then your right. You gotta turn over and do walk. 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 Walk.
Like that?
Yeah, like kind of. So like walk.
Okay.
Walk it out.
Walk it out.
And then you're gonna go over here. And then over here.
Okay.
And then you're gonna transition over. And you're gonna walk.
Oh, I like this.
Walk. And then you're gonna swing over to the front. And then you're gonna do it how you do it. And then walk it out.
I like it.
This part, do it really fast.
Okay.
So like,
I can't do it really fast, but okay, show me in a regular time, and I'll pick it up.
all right. Do you want me to play with the music and kind of?
Yeah, it's fine. We could do this.
Okay. I'm gonna let it play real quick, and then. Okay. So then walk it out. Walk. And walk it out. Walk. And walk it out. Walk. And walk it out. Then do it how you do it. Then you walk it out.
I like this. I'll work on it.
All right.
I'll work on it, and I promise you I'm going to get everybody I can to get in on this.
Oh, yeah. It's a really, and I mean, like, once you get the hang of it, it's a pretty easy dance to do. And it's very fun to do, and it's very, like, still moving, but, like, it's definitely...
My arms, I feel it, and I'll be close enough.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I was afraid I was going to hit my nurse when I was doing it, because, like, we were, like, not that far apart from each other, so when I did the swing, I was like...
I love that, and I like this that part. It's fun.
Oh yeah, this part is probably everybody's favorite just because it reminds them of single ladies, and I'm like, just don't do it like single.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah.
Anybody put a ring on it anytime soon?
But yeah, that's the TikTok dance for the sun run.
I love it, and I think this will be. I'm going to use that as my first video because I had to sign on to see your TikTok. So I signed on, and I have nothing. I have like 2 friends. I don't think I'm going to be an overnight, but I think you are.
It's all right. Sometimes my mom actually got TikTok so she can just watch TikToks. It's like I don't need friends. I just like looking at the videos.
There's some funny ones.
Oh yeah, there is some funny ones.
Well, you
like that's
so you're almost when are you going to be done? Do you know?
Not exactly, because about 3 weeks ago, I started getting some respiratory issues, and I started coughing and having like sinus issues and stuff like that. So they had me start on a medicine, and the medicine takes a while before it actually, is stopped. And because I am basically a newborn baby, the medicine is taking longer than it normally would. So they're keeping me here longer for just for the safety of it, which I'm perfectly fine with because it's hot outside and like there's air conditioning in here. So
be inside where it's nice and cool.
Yeah, and with how the world is right now with the coronavirus and how it's acting up again, it's just safer for me to be in here right now. So we're pretty. We call this Hotel Cardinal Glennon.
I like that.
For the long-term stays, it's like, okay, Hotel Cardinal Glennon, how you doing?
You know what it is? I tell you, I visited there a few times, and it really is way better than a lot of hotels, anyway. So I wish all hospitals kind of followed that example of making people feel human and good about themselves instead of patients, which I think is great.
Yeah, like they come in and they're like, "Hey, what's up, kid?" or like something like that. I have a little joke that I do with 2 of my nurses. We do every morning. We say, "Morning, how you doing?" We have our own language.
You have your language.
Yeah,
I like that.
But it's just great to have the relationship with them people because it makes you feel more like secluded and safe and like being like, all right, it's actually not that bad here. It's like it really isn't. Because a lot of people they say, oh my gosh, staying in the hospital that long. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even imagine. And it's like, well, I did it, and it wasn't that bad. So, and it's like, especially when the people that you love, everybody here is family. And it's been like that since day one for us. Like ever since we walked in, we never dreaded a single appointment. We never dreaded if we had to do admissions because we know that they know what they're doing. They know that this is best for me, and that everything is going to be okay when it comes to it. They know. And they do everything they can to make sure that the kids and like not only myself but other kids are well and like doing all right. And it's just a great family. It's a great community to be around.
We are very, very lucky to have it here for kids like you that just deserve this kind of treatment. So thank you so much. And again, Sunrun, October 25th.
Yep.
See, I remembered. I'll be there virtually. And anything special we should wear? I know you get the shirt when you sign up, which is a very cool shirt.
I'm honestly going to have to think about that one. I might have to ask Laura.
Yeah, ask Laura. We'll talk then. We got plenty of time, but I just wanted to get people started on this kind of just thinking about it and signing up now. Especially now, actually. We Cardinal Glennon, we are a community. We are what St. Louis is about, and that's about helping each other. So thank you for all you do. And I'm always around. You ever want to talk to me? Laura will give you all the info for me. And
yeah, she will.
She will. And I'm serious though. Yeah, anytime. And if I have problems with the dance, learning it and teaching it to Billy, he'll use an excuse like, oh, I only have one leg. It doesn't matter. He could still do that dance.
You can do that. It's only arm movement.
Exactly. That's what I'll tell him. He just gets embarrassed. I said, no, he gets embarrassed to dance. He doesn't think he can dance. But he'll dance.
Everybody's got a little dance in them.
Just that's all. He's actually a better dancer than me. So, well, thank you. And I look forward to talking to you again, hopefully soon.
Thank you as well. I really enjoyed it.
I'm hoping that the recording of this, because it sounds like there's a delay. It's what happens with these things. So if there is an issue, I might have to call you again.
All right.
But I really enjoyed it.
I did too.
And do me a favor and write down, you're journaling, right?
A little bit, just a little bit. I keep it mostly in my mind though, because with this whole process, it's kind of fresh. It's just like right there and then I can tell you everything that's happened.
Well, you don't want to forget. It's a story. It's people want to know. It definitely
is the story.
So thank you, Jamie. Jamie, what is your last name?
My first name is actually Jamie Lynn, and my last name's Hayden.
Jamie Lynn Hayden. It sounds like you should be a star with that name.
Yeah, Haley. But yeah, a lot of people get confused with my first name because Lynn, they think Lynn is actually my middle name, and it's like, no, it's Jamie Lynn. It's like, that's my first name, and then my last name is Haley. And then they're like, do you have a middle name? And it's like, yeah, I have a middle name, I do. But because I call myself Jamie, because a lot of people just call me Jamie because I say you can call me Jamie because that's my nickname. They just don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when I explain it. You'll
answer to anything as long as it's not late for dinner, right?
Honestly, yeah, pretty much.
Well, thank you again, Jamie Lynn, because I think that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
And I look forward to talking to you again. Until then, I will learn the TikTok, put the challenge out, and we'll get people to sign up.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Now if I can hopefully, that's it. Thanks again.
Thank you.